And the winner is... Arctic Monkeys!
That subscriber content, eh? That subscriber content, it just won't go away.
It might hibernate from time to time and sink back into the swamp. I think the cyclical nature of the universe in which it exists demands it adheres to some of its rules.
But it's always waiting there, just around the corner, ready to make its way into your ears and smash through the gated payment system, sounding better than ever.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Benefits such as getting ad-free episodes a week early with pre- and post-show chat relating to the monkeys, last Shadow Puppets episodes, bonus podcasts, watch-alongs, plus helping us improve our sound with better equipment and services.
Yeah, this podcast seems like it's fading away sometimes, but with subscribers, it will never die. Thank you very much for listening. We do truly appreciate it. Don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah, we'll invoice you for the subscription if we need to.
We're Arctic Monkeys. This is Don't Believe the Hype.
That rock and roll, eh? Ladies! That sound means it's the end of the round. Time for the bonus question. Cheers, dude.
That man just yawned.
We're gonna call it
Don't Believe the Hype.
Yes, hello and welcome to Series 2, Episode 20 of Don't Believe the Hype, the podcast that's frankly really suffering with a severe blister of Arctic Monkeys knowledge. Let's get it lanced. I genuinely have got like the worst blister anyone has ever had on the bottom of my foot, and it's just ruined my last week for me. Anyway, we are here every week covering a song from the discography of Arctic Monkeys. We are just a matter of weeks away from covering the last few songs of the Favourite Worst Nightmare era. And Nick Lee, and with me, he wants an interesting synonym to describe this thing we're all grandfathered in. It's not that deep, mate. It's just a podcast. Just get on with it, man. It's Dan Holt. Hello, Dan.
Hello, I like that. I like that intro. That was a good one. It was a good.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah,
that,
yeah. Mixing them up as we go through the eras.
I just realised that my gain was like halfway up on the dial for the pre-show, so that would have sounded awful for people. But, well, I don't think it wouldn't have sounded awful. You would have just been able to hear more of the room and stuff. But this is, that's the pre-show, isn't it? It's supposed to be a bit raw, a bit.
People are wondering what you're on about pre-show. Where would people obtain this pre-show thing?
Well, they'd have to become a subscriber, Nick, which I think is available on all podcasts. Well, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, the other ones that matter, and Patreon. You can become a subscriber. It's easy as that. All you have to do is click. Actually, if you're on Spotify or Apple, all you have to do is try and play one of the subscriber episodes that are locked on there, which will be embedded in this one that you're looking at now. There'll be like My Mistakes Were Made for You and stuff like that will be there in the list. So you can click on that and it'll ask you to sign up, and you do that, and then Bob's your uncle.
It asks you to send a check to Don't Believe the Hype Towers.
Yes.
Check out postal order. Get permission from whoever pays the bill.
Yeah.
Or don't. Fuck it. Sodom.
No.
They'll love you anyway. If it's your parents, they'll love you unconditionally. That's the point.
It just sounds like you're just talking to underage people now, trying to lure them in. So I don't want to be part of this anymore. What track are we covering tonight?
No, it's your bit. Anyway, in addition to subscriber stuff, go in the episode description. You can find links to the subscription stuff there, and also links to all our social media platforms. Give us a follow. Chat to us.
And you can sign up on Spotify now and link it to the Spotify. Sign up on Patreon now and link it to the Spotify and everything now anyway, can't you? Through that, so it's just easy,
I'm not certain
even easier.
Yet. Have we done it on the settings? Because Russ had a bloody nightmare doing it for my other podcast.
I don't think we have done it actually, have we?
Very angry.
I will do it.
But in that case, we'll have a look at that and we'll make that possible. But yes, by the time this goes out, let's just say that yes, you can link your Spotify to your Patreon account and you can listen to the feed that way. Let's just say yes.
Yeah. I'll get it. I'll look into it.
Yes.
But
what are we covering tonight, man?
We are covering another melodic B-side. Probably a fan favorite, I'd say, of this era B-sides.
Favorite of this fan?
Yeah. Too Much to Ask, which is a lovely little ditty.
Would it be too much to ask for us to get a clip of that song to play now?
Do we have a live version?
No.
I didn't think so. I was just in case you surprised me. Yeah.
There's live acoustic versions, but for this segment, it's best to have, I think we should have a full song.
It
We'll
is,
play you
it
out
is.
with the live acoustic version.
We will. We will do that like we did with the bacon.
By us.
Can you imagine? That's what when we run out of songs and we want to keep the pod going, it'll just be us like each week doing a cover of
We
each song.
found a rare
We can do
Monkeys tune. Listen to this.
Yeah. There was a bit actually it was in a podcast. Although I've heard the AM one by the time this one goes out. I think there's a bit at the end of the montage where I edited in Zane and Alex's bit, which is my favorite, one of the best things I've ever edited together. I think the way it fades out to that and then goes to the episode, and me and you start speaking after it, and because of Alex's northern accent, I think it's that one. It barely sounds like anything's changed. It sounds the same. If you're from another country and you don't like have as much of an ear for English accents, northern accents, I'd imagine that you're probably like, hang on, what's going on here?
We've got him on.
They've got him on. But yeah, it made me laugh. But yeah, what we saying? Oh yeah,
saying yes,
yeah. Yes, let's play a clip. Play a clip. Too much less.
Play a clip. Play. Let's play. Well, not a clip, just the clip. Really, it's the only one we could do.
Is it the full song?
No,
it's not fast enough, is it? No, it's not.
No. Bloody speed it up, boys. Then they'll never speed it up again. But
You look like Klopp again tonight. I'm seeing it more and more.
the song.
Hans.
Tantrums and the tears play a very different tune to what they did before. The heads red roar and the ending doesn't sound like the happiest around. When you saw it before, it felt much more like the product of a squabble. Now there's reason for it to be something more, and there would be. Oh, it's uncertain whether the curtain eyes shut for good. She says, see if it's still raining. I'm not dressed for retirement. If you loved me and I interrupted, received a scowl and said, but still decided to stop there.
Do you know what? Just then, I was about to like get up and dance around in my boxers that I keep popping out of, and then I thought, well, what if part of the StreamYard update was that we can now see each other while the videos are playing? Imagine that. Bit of Nick there, bit of a treat for you.
I think you can see me, can't you, while the videos are playing, didn't
I
you?
can see you because I'm the.
I just can't see you, yeah. Yeah, that would be good. Or if it had cut back in too late and seen you, because I wouldn't have edited it out for the subscribers. I
No,
would not have
no.
edited it out.
And
I was
you
just
see my
wondering
editing, I wouldn't have either.
God, yeah, no, but yours would have been sound only. So unless it was just where I heard the sound of a
Probably worse.
testicle hitting a
Probably
fly
worse.
in the heat, that's what that sound would have been, which is probably something like. I would imagine.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah. It was good that actually. I should be doing what's it called? Where they make the sound for
ASMR.
well, yeah.
I think that'd be a really niche ASMR. That the sound of a bollock being peeled off the thigh.
No, I could do like what's it called when you do it for films? I could do it for porn. You know, when you record the sound for
Let's
for
not
the
go down this avenue.
save that for the other pod.
That way lies heartbreak.
I was just imagining then if Tony Christie had covered this song instead of Only Ones Who Know, and it would have been like the smiles when she walked in the room have all turned into frowns. I'm too quick to assume that the love is no longer.
We don't have to imagine Tony Christie covering every song. It did
No,
that
it's just
It's
this
the
one
only that
because,
know
because
perfectly.
this is another one that I thought could work for a crooner. If you were to
Imagine
adapt
imagine he'd done Bakery. Imagine Tony Christie had done the Bakery.
Yeah, he didn't do songs about drugs though, does he? So Wouldn't touch
God,
it.
here we
Yeah.
go. Not this again. Not this thing that's been rent free in my head ever since we've
I
covered
would,
it.
I
Let's
would,
go to the.
I would give anything to hear Tony Christie sing Tatty Settee, though. That would have been fun.
Yeah,
In the
if we say
avenues and
message ouch or
alleyways,
something. Oh, I can't believe we're back on Tony
on the
Christie.
on the rounders pitch and canteens.
Sorry, Tony. We apologise.
Should we-
He's
should we
not
do
dead,
some-
is he?
Sorry,
No, I
that's
think he don't.
Information. I've gone mad in the heat. It's very hot today, by the way. If people and I know people in foreign countries will be going, but we're not used to it.
Yeah, we're not.
I was
built for it. We
I
don't
was
have
done as
AC.
well. I was ready for the slow, lovely sleek into Christmas and winter because I thought, well, summer ended in May, whatever we had.
Yeah.
And we hit a bloody heat wave now.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
well.
September for a heat wave. This should be like this. This is like pie and mash and red wine weather. Not bloody
Well,
this.
September's still summer, but we're normally phasing
Looking
into
towards it.
pie and mash and all that is, I'd say, mid to late October. I'm afraid for me before I start entertaining.
I mean, every day,
I was-
every day's pie and mash for me.
I mean, my birthday, 29th September. I think the 30th is officially the last day of summer. The day after it, I think. So I always use my birthday as the marker. Right now we're in winter. We're heading towards winter.
Get that fucking tree up.
Ah, I didn't-
As soon as it hits midnight, the day of your birthday, you've got Step Into Christmas on, aren't you? You're well and truly stepping into Christmas. He should do a follow-up song to that, right? So he's got Step Into Christmas. That's what you play when you're getting ready for Christmas. And then, like, Christmas night, you should do one called Get the Fuck Out of Christmas. And do that. So if you need a bit of money, Elton, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he's struggling.
yeah, struggling to walk. I had oh, sorry, Elton again. I don't listen to any Christmas music if I can avoid it until the night when we put the Christmas tree up and I'm having a few drinks. That's my official beginning of Christmas music, I think. Now that I don't work
It's
at
deep-
fucking
deep
Morrison's like
cuts
we
for
used to
me.
and get it from first December's, but yeah, Christmas tree, boozing, Christmas tree up, and that all of that this evening. It's a
I
fun
went
evening.
into the Asda's the other day and they had Christmas stuff. So I just abandoned my basket of shopping and walked
I saw
out.
some of that the other day. Yep.
Not having it, mate. Information.
Information, that's what I need. To do some information.
The information action ratio, ain't that the place to go?
Too Much to Ask is 3 minutes and 3 seconds long, and it has 34.4 million streams on Spotify, making it the highest streamed track of this single release. So there you go. We're higher than the bakery, much higher than the bakery. So this is clearly the favorite of them all. It is 110 beats per minute and is in the key of A.
Wrong key though.
Other key tracks in A is a song that just featured in my favorite songs list from the pre-show chat. And yes, I am running out of jokes at this late stage of the series, if you could ever call them jokes, of course, at all. So I am taking this as an opportunity to again push our subscriber content onto you. It's Let Down by Radiohead. This next one was my favorite song in my early teens before I realized what good music was. It's Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams. Sorry, Brian, completely uncalled for there, you dirty bugger. And it's another tenuous push on subscriber content now, not only because I'm running out of material, but also because Nick wanted to move the recording of this to 2 days earlier than originally in the schedule. Although, ironically, due to technical issues, we're now doing it at the usual time, so I could have redone this and made better jokes, but I was just too busy. It's another bloody song from my top favorite 15 songs ever from our pre-show chat. It's Only You by Zizou.
Who? I was going to say Yazoo. I was going to say Yazoo, but Zazu.
I said Yazoo.
As well.
I said Yazoo. It's just
No,
the way
I
did.
Sounded like Zazu.
I made sure I said Yazoo because I nearly said Yahoo.
We'll see about that.
It was.
see
I just,
about
I was in
We'll
the speaking fast.
We'll
Speaking fast.
that. We'll see. We'll see.
It was. It just sounded like it. But yes, that was two of the favorites. We did our top 15 songs of all time in the subscriber content, and the listeners joined in as well. We we did top 10 albums last week and top 15 songs this week. And next week we're doing our top 5 non-UK.
Non-UK, non-Ireland, non-America, no Canada.
No, but you're allowing Australia because you need to, apparently. So yes, that's the only English.
Nowhere else has music.
This song has been played live just twice by the band, which is why you don't have a recording. August 31st, 2007 at Sirius XM Nashville. And lastly, on September 11th, 2007 at CD 101 Big Room, Columbus, Ohio. So a fan favorite B-side, but perhaps underappreciated by the band at the time, clearly.
Too much so.
Just a little little bonus round for you, Nick, from our friends at Far Out Magazine, who now sponsor our bonus rounds, it seems.
The boys.
That sound means it's the end of the round. Time for the bonus question.
So basically, they did a list where they said the top five best Arctic Monkeys love songs. So this was before the car. So although arguably none of the car ones would be on there anyway, but Mirrorball perhaps. If breakup songs count as love songs. Oh, one of the greatest breakup songs. Yeah, shout for that. We're talking about that. Maybe that'll be another list that we do in the future. You know,
That was the one I was thinking of that we were going to do. That was the one I was
we'll do that.
originally
We'll do
thinking
that
of. Too
after
late,
this
I'll do it
one. This
next
top
time.
5 one. Yeah. We'll do the, and then we'll do the covers. So they've named 5 songs here. Fire Out Magazine are usually all right, aren't they? 5 best love songs. Do you care to have a guess? The fifth one is a B-side from the first album era, so you can have 2 guesses. So it's the best love song from the first album era, B-side.
Bigger Boys and Stone Sweethearts.
No.
Despair in the Departure Lounge.
No. The best love song from the B-sides of this, I guess you could say it's not a B-side, but I think it's the only way to describe it, really. Leave Before the Lights Come On.
Not again.
Classing it as a love song.
Deja vu. I mean, it's not a B-side, and B, it's not a love song.
Yeah. I'm parking the
Not a
fact
love
that
story,
it's not a
it's a
love
story.
B-side because it's the only. I just could describe. I didn't want to describe around the houses again like last time, but yeah, it's not a B-side.
Animal
So,
loves. It's about
but just-
desires.
by the way, they haven't labeled it a B-side. This is top 5 love songs. I just could only describe it to you as love song, or I'd give it away like last week. So I just said B-side. So it's not their fault, that
I
one.
mean, I'd never have guessed that.
That's
have
the top
guessed
5
Leave
love
Before the Lights
songs.
anyway.
No, because it's not a love song. Because no, so I don't
Oh,
understand.
I'm not holding out much hope for the rest of this list. I'll be honest with you, man.
Yeah, I don't understand. Basically, their argument is that basically when you're 17, stumbling home with some bird drunk is the equivalent of love. But I think that's a shit loophole in the lyrics there. So the next one is an album track from Favorite Worst Nightmare. So you get one guess.
Only ones who know.
Yes, but as you know, I think that's a doomed love song. So I do think that's
They're not
ridiculous.
doing. They're not
And
doing
also-
well with this list.
And also, I'd pick 5 at 5 if I was picking one of them, because although obviously it's also potentially a Doom relationship, but it doesn't. It's more of a sweet sort of look at it than Doom. But yeah, it's not very good. That is it. This list so far, letting us down here, the boys and girls.
Far
Far
Out,
Out Magazine.
man. Probably all smoking doobies and playing hacky sack.
Okay, the next one is 505. So a bit better, but you know, the fact that we're 5 songs in and we've only had songs from the first 2 albums out of 5 is a worry in this list, isn't it?
Yeah, the lack of Suck It and See is very disturbing.
I mean, I would only have songs of Suck It and See on this list, to be honest with you. Well, not only, but you know, if I had to pick 5, there'd be a heavy Suck It and See vibe to this list if I only had 5 Arctic Monkeys love songs, considering Suck It and See is their love song album, which I don't think could be disputed, especially the B-side. Okay, so you're going to get it, but the next one, again, I think it's murky, but it is on Humbug album.
Oh, it's going to be Cornerstone.
Yeah. Now, I guess it is a love song, obviously, because it's about yearning for that, and I suppose it's quite a romantic idea to go around to different pubs looking for someone, but again, I mean, yes, I'll allow it. But if you've only got 5, it could be in there, could sneak in at 5. But I think there's just better choices. 4 songs in, we haven't had one off Suck It and See yet. So I can only assume the next one is going to be off Suck It and See, which it is. Which it is. But this is
the Laser Quest.
Sorry. Hang on. Is this a top 10 list, not a top 5? I got mixed up. Oh no, it's just the very best. Sorry, I don't know where I've got top 5 from. I was been reading a different list, but so there's more than 5, but it doesn't really affect the list, but still. So the next one is Suck It and See,
Okay, right.
album track.
No,
it's not the song. No. First side of the album.
She's Thunderstorms.
Correct.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Good song. Good song.
Yeah.
Although potentially more sexually charged than Love. Argument for that than some of the
Aren't we
others, but
all?
hey ho. But we'll let it through. Next one is Suck It and See. So
Okay.
Suck It and See, the next one, which great love tune. Obviously I think it's their best love tune. Next one is Lover's Laser Quest.
There we go.
So okay, now this is their number 1 top Arctic Monkeys love song. It's on AM.
Right. No, they're not gonna. It's not gonna be what I think it is it? Is it I Want to Be Yours?
No.
Okay, Fireside.
It is a love song.
I know, but it's not their best.
No, of course not. But so it's not. But the actual answer is worse. Go on. So Fireside, your second guess. No.
Yeah.
And you could potentially have had number 1 party anthem, but I think as he says in that, it's not like I'm falling in love. I just want you to do me no good. So not a love song. It is. Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High is their number 1 Arctic Monkeys love song. A song about someone who repeatedly disrespects a woman by only messaging her when he's drunk in the morning for sex. Something that I've done many a time. I've done this lots of times to women. But it's not because I love them. It wasn't a romantic gesture that I was messaging them at 3 a.m. It was the furthest away from love that you can get, apart from like dumping someone or cheating on them. For a single person, that's the least love-like thing that you can do. Is what Why Do You Only Call Me High is about.
I've got nothing for you, mate. I have nothing to say.
Write in, anyone, and contest us if you think that Why Do You Want to Call Me When You're High is a love song, because I'd love to hear the reason.
And then after you've done that, unsubscribe from this podcast and all our social media channels.
Don't subscribe if you pay him. Don't subscribe if you pay him. Don't subscribe.
Oh no, yeah, well,
yeah. So yeah, let's move on. Should we do some reviews?
I mean, the reviews aren't going to upset me as much as that did, are they?
I don't think so, because it's just Enemy's greatest list. But they put this at 86, which I thought was a bit low. I know it's a stiff competition, but because I think some of the other B-sides from this era were higher. So question it a bit that this one is only 86, and they clearly don't like it that much, because the note under it was wrestling with the unbearable pain and embarrassment that accompanies rejection. I don't think that's what the song's about. Spoiler alert. B, that's just short and sweet, innit? Didn't even say what they think about it. Just a summary of what they think the song's about. But before we get to that not being what the lyrics are quite clearly about, shall we discuss the music? You like this one, then?
This is a favourite of mine. This is probably my
lyrically
top
or
5
musically or both.
B-sides. I mean, mainly lyrically, as is the draw with the vast majority of their of my favourites of their stuff. But it's very much carrying on the sound. It's very much of its time. It's carrying on a similar sound to the Bakery in particular. The Miles Kane influence is writ large across it again, I think. That sort of choral type Mersey beat psychedelic kind of sound is still there. Yeah, it's a weird thing. That's how I'd classify the choral, because they're very, very influenced by, like, not just by the Beatles, but by like Jerry and the Pacemakers and other like Liverpool bands of like from the same time as the Beatles. But then they've got this psychedelic twist on it as well, like from listening to like krautrock and stuff like that. Oh, that'll krautrock will come up in the pre-show next week, I have no doubt.
I Yeah, I just don't like the term Mersey beat. I hate terms like that. They make me cringe. It was the same if it was Manchester. If it was like if there was a way to describe,
Manchester.
yeah, stuff like that. I just don't like that.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's the worst
It
thing.
makes me feel
Yeah.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we also file Britpop alongside that as well?
Yeah. Yeah, we
The
can.
phrase Britpop was invented by Stuart McConey, the like broadcaster, that DJ guy. So
Yeah.
he was doing an interview with some foreign music magazine, and they basically put him on the spot and gave him like 10 seconds to name it something, and he just went, "Oh, Britpop," and then it stuck. Just
Yeah,
stuck.
and most of the good music wasn't pop. That's the irony. Brit rock, if anything. Oh, not even that actually.
Apart from
Dunno.
Pulp. Pulp
Yeah.
were possibly one of the greatest pop bands ever.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean the Pulp stuff that like broke them commercially was pure pop, like Disco 2000, Common People, Babies. Oh,
Yeah, again, it depends what each individual defines as pop. Like,
I've just realised we've got a clip there of me saying Babies. Oh God, so that's not good.
Send that to your ex. That'll get it going again.
That's
And
the
your hair looks-
the Ian Watkins one.
Your hair looks snazzy. Is that your mother's money coming through? Yeah, I mean the sound of that guitar though, doing the lead is great at the start of this. Such a good riff and production wise, it sounds absolutely fabulous as well. That kind of just the way it sounds is beautiful. Beautiful sound. It's very different to the Bakery though, I'd say, in terms of a tone, but there's just something about the guitar, like I don't know, there's something about this one. It reminds me, it's a bit jazzy, a bit smooth. Maybe that's the bass, really good, like accompanying bass again to this one.
See, again, this is I think we picked the bass last week, didn't we, as our favourite?
Yes, perhaps, yeah.
And I think that's a lovely bass line for Mr.
On,
O'Malley.
yeah, but last week was Plastic Tramp, wasn't it? But yeah, the bass was yeah, it's beautiful. It carries the song. Like when you listen to it instrumentally, it's just really nice in the verses and yeah, it just gives me kind of a bit of a jazzy vibe, maybe a bit of like a smooth. Can imagine listening to just the music of this in a bar sat there. It's like
yeah, there's a plane in the corner.
Yeah. Steady hand from Helders as always on this one as well. Even a little hip hop, I'd say, considering the song. He slips a bit.
Yeah, there's a bit of it in there, isn't there?
A bit of slow hip hop beat in there. As we know, we can do CAM for slow hip hop beats for love songs. Not Why Do You Call Me When You're High, because it's not a love song. But it is a hip hop song. And
Very much so.
Yeah, and like most hip hop songs, it's not about love; it's about shagging. So, or the want to shag.
It's all about shagging, and no one gets shot, so it beats most hip hop.
Shagging. Similar to the guitar. So the bass is similar to the guitar. I felt so begs the question of whether the riff it was an O'Malley invention yet again. As we know, with some we suspect that he came up with the riff first, like How You Mine and such, and it went from there. And we suspected, I think, a couple on Favourite Worst Nightmare we felt like started life as First Adolescent. I felt could have started the single for this could have started life as O'Malley bass riff and moved into guitar. I suspect, especially when I found out that they get Helders to throw a drum beat. I do wonder sometimes if Alex writes it with Jamie, like they're doing the strumming, and then Helders does one of his drum beats to it, and then Nick writes a riff, and they go, "Oh, that riff will be really good on guitar as well." And I do wonder if Mr. O'Malley doesn't get enough credit for a lot of the cool bass lines that are produced, the guitar riffs that are produced. Sorry. Do love the strumming as well. We haven't had some nice strumming from them for a while like this. Really nice chord change halfway through. And it's not very often. Rarely noticed. I'll notice a good chord change. But the strumming is so beautiful on this that halfway through the chorus, it changes it changes chord as a chord change, and it's really good melodic. I notice it every time, especially instrumentally. I was like, oh, that's a nice.
Yeah, once you spot it on the instrumental, you can't unhear it after that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a nice chord change. But I always love it when you can hear the slide of the guitar as well on clean melodic chorus. Yeah. One of the songs I did cut, by the way, from my top 15 song list at the start of this was that lovely cover of California Dreamin' by Jose Figuera, I think his name is. Where you can hear a lot of guitar slide on that. I love that, and I really wanted it to be in there, but unfortunately, it couldn't beat the big boys to be in there. But that is an absolute tune. Best version of that song, and if we do a covers list, that will absolutely be in there.
They're coming up, don't worry.
Yeah, bit country with that reverby guitar. I thought that comes in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. A little bit. It's a little bit country. It's a little bit rock and roll. Yeah, just a little bit country before. Arguably, there's a few little country moments there. Cornerstone's a very country song, as we know. He tried to write the lyrics as a country song, but yeah, as we'll find out next season.
As we will next series, Dan. We're not American.
I am. I want to be.
I already know it. You're never going to meet them, Dan.
No, take me over there. But the long time ago, I can still. I think you know what as well. I forgot to say on that. I think when I was a kid, I used to think that was the American national anthem when I was a kid.
Oh, I did. I also did.
I can still remember how that music. Well, not that. But not that. Music used to make me smile. I knew when I had my chance. Especially if it was.
Hey Dan, do you like listening to popular songs with questionable lyrics?
You know I bloody do. And Nick, do you like drinking copious amounts of alcohol?
Nah, do I ever? Actually a worry.
Well, if you're the same as us, then come listen to a weekly podcast, Liquor and Lyrics, where we take apart popular music's worst songwriting whilst drinking our favourite drinks, which kind of stay in theme with the song.
From Gin and Tonic to Grease Lightning.
Cosmopolitans with Chaz and Dave.
Blue Lagoons with Busted.
Sex on the Beach with Sex on Fire.
Shirley Temples with Shaggy.
And even a Shandy with Sharon.
Dropping on Tuesday the 19th of September and every Tuesday after on your favourite podcast platform.
But yeah, really, really a bit country. I thought with that, it's the reverby guitar that comes in that sounds country. There's a little interlude in this before the next verse, and the riff coming in, along with all the other elements, is just great. So well, it works so nicely. It's like just a little bit of guitar alongside it. Like it just blends so well. Got like a kind of as it progresses, it sounds more like that, you know, that kind of fluorescent guitar effect, the one that sounded carnival-esque. I think it was a fair-esque carnival-esque, that kind of they used that. I can see why they would use this song on the Fluorescent Adolescent single, because that sounds in there. It's got kind of like guitar sounding like an organ a little bit, or like a kind of like one of those organs you get at a baseball game. That goes do 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 do. That kind of thing. Puppy power. Get that reference, everyone.
It's a brilliant.
Obscure, isn't it?
Well done.
Obscure reference, thank you. Fucking hell. Raggy. Really, I really love that guitar. Dreamy as well, you could say, is the sound of that kind of guitar. It's like that kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to have a pedal that did that when I play guitar. I wish I'd known what it was, but yeah. Maybe we'll find out what that pedal is in a new feature that I'm going to begin in the wrap up to this. Give that away, really. With so many things that could be now, isn't it?
Try to tease it and just.
I do love this solo outro that leads the song out, though. It's kind of like, again, we were saying about the that song, that cover of California Dreaming. It's got the California sound, but then the guitar kind of does this. It's very them, I'd say, at this point. It's kind of a Spanish guitar sound. It's like a kind of, like the Spanish waiter on the guitar at the
Yeah. So put your guitar away, mate. I've ordered my patatas bravas.
Patatas bravas. You struggled to say that, didn't you? Patatas bravas. Yeah, it's kind of like...
I went a bit South African when I was saying it.
It's like a bit like... Doom, 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 doom. I think if you did that on like in it,
a bit EastEnders,
stick in it. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. But you never seen it, have you? It's
Watch
like
the fucking tape.
It just reminds me of a kind of Spanishy sound. That's all. On there. I think his voice in this one's pretty good, though. It's a bit like Riot Van-esque, I felt.
It's exactly what I was going to say. It's very Riot Van-esque.
It's got that kind of Riot Van, because he can't.
That drawl.
It perfectly matches the tone of the song, and it's like that kind of like he doesn't go big or into his normal fast rap or anything. It's just a very sort of subtle, like it's spoken still, but it's
almost like he's not trying. Not in a way of slagging him off. But
no. Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of way, yeah.
It's actually more of a skill because it's kind of matching the tone of the song by making it sound like he's not trying, which probably means that you're trying very hard, because I'm sure as a singer, your natural instinct would be to do things. So to just keep to suit the song and just keep it at a certain level is a skill, probably. And much like one of the people in relation to this song, you've stopped trying, you could say.
Very much so.
So yeah. Obviously, they said in that review there that it was, unless you got something else to say on the music, at all.
Yeah, no.
It's a lovely song, but it's quite. There's not many different facets to it, is there? It's simple but effective as ever with some of Marky's tunes at this point.
Although we do get one of my favourite Arctic Monkeys lyrics of all time in this.
Oh no, I mean the music. Sorry, yeah, the music's simple.
Oh yeah.
The lyrics are great. Yeah, the music's simple but effective. Not the lyrics. They never are. But yeah. So I think I don't know. What do you think it's about? Because that review alluded to it being about rejection or facing rejection of someone. Not for me at all. That makes no sense to the lyrics for me.
No, I see it as a relationship that's dying.
Yeah, it's about a doomed relationship
obvious.
at the very end and noticing the subtle changes within that with the other person. That's absolutely the only thing that it could be about. Like, it basically says it. There's not even a metaphors or anything. It's basically just about that. It's about that sort of thing. So yeah, the first two lines, as the first line suggests, the smiles as she walked in the room have all turned into frowns. Am I too quick to assume that the love is no longer in bloom? Obviously, them and maybe some other people have taken that to mean like, I guess if you fancy someone at a party and it's going well, and then she comes back in the room and it's turned into a frown, so she's cut you off. But I don't think that's how you would talk about that situation. Whereas that talks to me. Is it something I've experienced, Nick, at the end when the girl looks, he walks in a room, she doesn't smile at you anymore. It's very different. Yeah. And he's I guess he's kind of hoping that he's wrong though, because he says, "Am I too quick to assume that the love is no longer in bloom?" Which is a very
still
nice,
that little
sweet line, isn't it? He's still doing that thing of like, it's a perfectly he's done it with a few. In the first album, he did it with Settle for a Draw, and he, as we know from Suck It and See and songs like Sweet Dreams TN and now Mirrorball and stuff like that. He perfectly encapsulates relationships with his lyrics. He says things that no one else says about relationships as well. I always think like that you hear all your mainstream pop songs about love and relationships, and they're all very straightforward. But I think he captures like how people really feel in relationships. He captures that for me anyway. I relate to a lot to what he says in a way that mainstream songs don't really. I love a song like John Legend's, like Of Me, but it's very much very basic in terms of like, yes, all of you love it. It's very nice. I love it as a song, but Alex says the truth about relationships, and he does it in a way that you don't know. Does that make sense? You would never think it or say it, but Alex says it, and you go, "Oh yeah,
really? Oh, that's what that is.
that's what that is." Yeah, and I think that
It's like the
Mardy
first
Bum,
time
even.
the first time I ever heard the term toxic masculinity. Like the first time I ever heard that term, that blew my mind because I was like, "Oh, that's what all that was." That's
I thought
what
Alex used that in a lyric. Then
life
I
has
think,
been.
oh God, what have I missed?
Yeah. No, just in general.
Just in general. Yeah, it's funny how he does that, but yeah, he's one of the best at it. Probably Bob Dylan probably noticed that as well. The tantrums and the tears play a very different tune to what they did before. What do you think that? Because is it like how the girl has tantrums and tears in a way that when you're in a loving relationship, you might have a little fallout over something, but then it quickly gets, when you're happy, you have a little relationship and it quickly gets brushed under the rug, doesn't it? And you both go, oh, sorry, we're stupid. Whereas when it's going downhill, those moments, those arguments are much bigger than they were before.
I see it as exactly that. But also at the same time, when it's early in the relationship, you want to like stop the tantrums and the tears. You'll do whatever you can to, but then towards the end, when it's all going to shit, you just can't be asked. You just can't be asked trying to deal with it and make it feel.
If anything, you might make it worse, just to antagonize the situation. But yeah. Yep.
Get in. It's not just her head that's getting red raw.
Two straight males talk about relationships they fucked up. Her head's red raw. Crying.
Doing that with her, like pressing her hands into the forehead, I think.
Yeah. When you have a tantrum or a tear, yeah. Very good. Yes, red raw. Yeah, red raw. I always think red raw's just got like dirty connotations to me now. I've just said
it has, absolutely has. Yeah,
it's not what he's saying.
Not in this case.
If he said his head was red raw, then I might, but he didn't. And the ending doesn't sound like so the lyric I got here was the ending doesn't sound like their happiest around.
It's not. It's the happiest around.
I thought so. Doesn't sound like the happiest around. When you saw before, it felt much more like the product of a squabble, which backs up the idea that it's
great line. Product of a squabble.
Excellent. That'd be a good album title. That the product of a squabble for like for a band that's come out of a working class like Will Live and Die in these, like an Enemy type band where they're doing songs about relationships on a council estate. The album The Product of a Squabble would be a great album title.
Isn't Product of a Squabble what's on your birth certificate?
You joke, but you jest, but you hit quite close to the bone. I'm not asked, mate.
I'm not sorry. All right.
I think the years of therapy won't help.
Nice.
And the ending doesn't sound like the happiest around. When you said before, it felt much like that. Kind of backs up, I guess, the theory that the crying was more from a squabble rather than anything serious. But now the crying and the stuff is very much more serious. And when that does happen when you peak into end of relationships, that the arguments seem to be a lot rawer because you built up resentment and things as well. Like I've said before, once one, and as a regular listeners know, I was a naughty boy back in the days. I was a very naughty boy back in the day, many moons ago. I cheat, and when you have an argument once one of you's cheated, it could be an argument about leaving some coffee on the side, and it'll turn into, "Hey, you shagging then, did you?" Well, I'll put the coffee away if you stop putting your dick in other women. That's usually how those arguments go. That's just generally. So yeah, the arguments get a little bit more serious. Now there's reason for it to be something more, and no would be, oh, it's uncertain. So now there's reason for it to be something more, and no would be. Oh, it's uncertain whether the curtains have shut for good. Pretty self-explanatory there, isn't it? Hark back to a reference of a first album B-side demo, perhaps.
Indeed, indeed.
But the curtains have, where it's basically, the argument now is a reason. The arguments are so much more serious now that every argument could be a reason for them to be closing the curtains on the relationship for good, basically. She says, "See if it's still raining. I'm not dressed for it. And if you love," that's good. She says, "See if it's raining. I'm not dressed for it. And if you loved me," and I interrupt to receive the scowl and stare, but still decided to stop her there. Ooh. So like she's saying to him, see if it's still raining. I'm not dressed for it. And it probably like, if you love me, you'd go and look or something. He's probably said, "No, I can't be asked checking." And she said, "Well, if you love me, but he cuts her off. And she scowls at him, but he still decided to stop it, even though he knew he was going to get. Because that, you know what? It's funny what you said about the arguments being about how at the end you don't stop them as much. Like at the start, you don't want to fall out, so you'll stop yourself from saying it or something like that. Yeah. But at the end you don't, and that's very much like that. He knows that by cutting her off and saying that he's going to cause an issue, but at this point he doesn't give a shit, so he'll just cut her off. Anyway.
Trying to hasten the end.
It's funny how you do that, isn't it? You make the situation worse for yourself just because you want to kind of antagonize in a way. I think it gets to a point in some relationships where it's doomed and you actually just actively antagonize the situation just to try and speed up the process, I think, subconsciously or consciously. You just kind of make things worse just because you know it's doomed. So you're just like, well, let's get it over with then. Fucking, it's that weird place of not wanting to end it because you're scared of being single, but also knowing that you need to just do it, rip the band-aid off. She's very deep. It's the deepest thing I'll say this week, that.
It's all downhill for me then, isn't it?
Till it's 3 a.m. tomorrow night when I'm fucked. No, I have a slight... would it be outrageous to say we're either shouting or we're shagging? Okay, true. Although I've never had one of those relationships where when it's doomed near the end, you constantly shagging and arguing in between. I've only ever had it where you just arguing and the sex stops when it goes downhill. To be honest, I've never had this great situation where you're shouting and shagging all the time. Where the sex has stayed good during that. That's never happened. But I don't. It's like that kind. I don't like it when he references sex in a straightforward way. I think every time he's done it so far, and I don't think he does it again. Because in other songs he's a bit more subtle with it. I really don't like it. It was like it was in Balaclava, and I think it was in one that was it Temptation or something recently. He did another one where he said about it or something, and I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like it when he just says something like "we're either shouting or we're shouting." Like
he's better than that.
He's better than that. That's what it is. I know, and maybe because it's now I know how good he gets. I know he's better than just saying shagging. Like, I just think there's more to him than that. But the sentiment I understand, but I just wish it was better. Good word coming up now. One of his good words again. Locked in a tempestuous phase. At least that's how we felt yesterday. Good word, that. Wonderful. Very good word. Wonderful word. Wonderful word. It's up there with totalitarian and that other word that we can never remember, but also
the other one,
but also escapologist, even though we don't like the song anymore. But tempestuous is a good one. Although it always reminds me of Impetuous and my favorite Father Ted Christmas special moment with the priest saying, "Oh, forgive me for my impetuous interruption." He said he wanted a boring voice, Ted. Did you want a dramatic voice? Which I think that character in Father Ted is what Matt Fingy's based his entire career off. He's carrying that on. Matt Fingy, what's his name? Matt Berry, yeah. Locked into tempestuous phase. At least that's how we felt yesterday. The eyes are getting heavier, and whether you're asleep or awake is a mystery. Is that have we had your favorite lyric yet? By the way,
not yet.
I know what your favorite lyric's going to be, and it's one I'm not that keen on. I know it is.
I love it.
I know what it's going to be, and I don't really like it. But yeah, you're getting heavier, and whether you're asleep or awake. So is that kind of like that kind of when you've been in bed with someone and it's a bit frosty, and you kind of like, have they gone to sleep? Like post argument, like. Have we just, that kind of, and something I'm a big believer in now is, which what old people say, advice to say, never go to bed angry. in a relationship. But is that like the post argument? And I've had that, and they're falling asleep, and you're like, "Are we leaving it there then?" And you're like, "Are they awake or asleep? What's going on?"
If I didn't go to bed angry, I wouldn't go to bed.
No, we in a relationship, not go to bed angry like just every day.
Alright,
Just
alright
don't
then.
go to bed
Alright then.
angry when you basically if you have an argument with your wife. Old men always say, one key to a relationship: never go to bed angry. Resolve the argument before you go to sleep. Because if it carries on into the next day, you fucked. And that, which good advice. They know what they're talking about. These old men. About some stuff.
Said
Some of that-
nobody ever.
A lot of them are a bit
Some very
rapey, as it
dark
turns
news.
out. Yeah. But yeah, would a kiss be too much? I hope this is your favorite lyric, but it's not, is it? Would a kiss be too much to ask? Which is obviously that's the name of the show. But I like that. Because that's kind of as well when you're falling asleep and maybe you should make up. And would a kiss be too much to ask? I've had that as well when I was in a relationship that had gone very bad. As you saw some photographic evidence of said relationship.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I showed them to my current girlfriend, and she was absolutely pissed. She was like, "Go on, let me see." She was pissing herself. She was like, "I've never seen two people look like they fucking hate each other more in my life."
So funny.
And there's a picture of me and my mate after it. I'm the happiest you've ever seen me. Would a kiss be too much to ask? The relationship that you're responsible for me fucking up.
My fault.
Yeah, I bet.
Is it?
Because you left the party that time that led me to do
Oh,
something.
yeah,
If you'd have been there, you would have
Right,
taken that
yeah.
bullet for me.
Oh, good. Thanks.
I took the bullet for you, and you still took the bullet anyway. But would a kiss be too much to ask? Yeah, I love that line. So your favorite lyric, I'm guessing, is going to be when you fit me as Sunday's frozen pitch fits the thermos flask. Now, I think you like
if someone
it
said
because
that to me, that'd be the cutest thing anyone
I'd
would
find
ever
it.
say to me.
I think
Like
it's.
it.
I think it's an awful. Is it a metaphor or a simile? I guess it's a simile, isn't it?
Similar, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just. I don't like it. It's just not. Again, it's not him. It's not very him. I don't think.
No, I
it's,
can see where you're
it's
coming
not.
from.
Yeah, it's more like something I'd hear in like a kind of half man half biscuit, the enemy. Not degrading any of these bands. I'm just saying it's like
Whoa, do not put Half Man Half Biscuit in with the enemy, please.
I'm not putting them in with the enemy. I'm saying because we can both accept that when we talk about Alex's lyrics, we're putting him in a superior category that nobody else can achieve. I'm just saying I expect it from a band, like a band more. A working class, like the first two albums of Arctic Monkeys, relatable, straightforward lyrics about stuff that we can relate to. That's where I'm putting it, and I put that lyric in like with a lesser songwriter and that's not to put the songwriter down. It's because Alex is so much superior. It's but you can't compare. It's like trying to compare someone. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like trying to compare an average footballer to like Ronaldo or Messi or something, and saying, well, they're not as good as Messi, and it's like, well, who is? It's that kind of thing. So I just it's a nice line, and maybe I think because of you going to sort of lower league football games and playing Sunday morning football when you were younger and stuff. Maybe that's why you have a draw towards it. Yeah,
it reminds me of being half time, and you go over and the manager would have like juice and oranges at half time, but my dad would bring his thermos flask with him, so I'd go and have a nice cup of tea.
The reason why I quit playing football as a kid was because for me, getting up on a cold Sunday morning was going out into the cold wearing a pair of shorts was literally my worst nightmare. So I turned to my mum and I went, I want to be in the theatre. And I'm sure everyone in my family thought I was gay until I was 16. But hey, there you go. Not that they should have thought that, but that's their views, not mine.
Well, I specifically picked a team where we kicked off like at lunchtime on a Saturday or Sunday because
still cold though, isn't it? In the winter.
Early.
Oh, it's the cold I don't like aspect of it.
When the ball hits you. Ooh.
That's why it's like I'm all right going stuff now, like going county with you and stuff now. But as soon as if you say to me like in the depths of the November, December, do you want to go see county? I'll be like, no, I would. You know what? I would if it was dark during it, but 3:00 game, no, because the only one I want to go to is a night one because I like winter in the night, but I don't like winter in the day as much. Yeah, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? There's a nice vibe at night in the winter.
That's my favourite football is under the floodlights, winter, like nice cup of like Bovril or a tea or coffee or something. Slip a bit of whiskey in it from the hip flask.
Yeah, I'm getting to that point now, and once this summer's over, I love that whole winter vibe, and that's my favourite time of year, pre-Christmas.
Love wrapping up warm for the football. It's great.
Yeah, I would say the best 2 times a year are May to July when the heat's a novelty, and the summer's a novelty, and the late nights are a novelty, and the drinking and then the best time of winter is the lead up to Christmas, sort of October to December, and then you hate winter January onwards because you're just depressed and you want it to be over, and then you love summer. I hate summer around now because I'm like, oh, come on, can we get to the winter now? But I'm very glad my trip to York was pushed back to mid-November because the Christmas markets start the night before I go, which is York Christmas markets. Yes, please. Am I going to pretend it's Hogsmeade? Yes, I am. Sue me, sue me, Harry Potter haters. But yeah, when you fit me a Sunday's Frozen Pitch fits the first. He's going to Hogwarts. I'm on book 3, by the way, so we'll be going to Hogsmeade soon. Which love it, loving it like that. But yeah, no, it's okay. I just think it's very. It reminds me of. It's a bit kind of settled for the draw stuff. I don't know if I feel like it's a bit earlier, Alex, for me. That line, it's a bit misplaced, but maybe you have to have a personal thing to it. But yeah, and then a very sad, as he likes to do, sign off with a sort of tragic line. Well, the whole song's quite dour, to be honest, but it's a pity it just hit me. We can't go back. Had that moment, my friend. I've had that moment. Actually had that at the beginning of the relationship when you do cheat and you realise that you can't go back now, but then you stay with him anyway and it's downhill for years. Good job my ex doesn't watch this and text me, isn't it? Although considering we split up nearly 8 years ago now, that really would be like labouring the point.
That'd be even weirder than being a year on and not being interested in something. And then,
first, Nick, I'm good in bed, but I'm not that good to have someone 8 years later still pining after me. It's 8 years. I think it's more to the fact you being a bastard, to be honest. It's probably a pity.
Not want to change my mind about things.
I think you did the right thing. I think you did an honourable thing, my friend. It's a pity.
Not hard to have any personal growth at all.
No. Well, you know where I stand on it. You did an honourable thing. It's a pity it just hit me. We can't go back to the chest touching on the back.
Lots of bit of spooning.
Yes, spooning reference. Yeah.
Are you a big spoon or a little spoon, Dan?
I don't like spooning, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh,
I don't do it.
I'm easy either way, mate.
I need my personal space. I don't like.
Not in this weather. Not in this weather. I can't.
No, I'm not a spooner. I like. No, me and my girlfriend luckily both don't show affection that way. So, like in bed at night. No. We're very affectionate. We're very affectionate of her, but we're much happier and more a kind of one of us sat up with the legs up and the other one lay to the side of the couch with the legs draped over the other one type thing than a spoon. Like watching telly spooning, nightmare. Not into that, I'm afraid.
No, not watching telly spooning. I mean.
Oh, in bed, yeah, but also in bed. No. Me and my girlfriend are very much in bed at night. Need space. We're nowhere near each other in the bed at night. Nowhere near. There's sometimes we'll fall asleep holding each other's hands, which is very, very sweet and romantic, like the Titanic's going down. But,
good night, darling.
We fall asleep holding hands, but other than that, I need my space in bed. I can't do it. I can't fall asleep with. You know what I hate? The feel of another human being near me when I'm falling asleep. You know what I really hate when if a girlfriend faces me, someone breathing on your face when you're trying to fall asleep. I hate it.
Oh god,
that feeling. I have to sort of put the pillow in front so that I can't feel it because honestly, the thought of being near any other sort of human being just knocks me sick. So
taking a dark turn. Gosh, this does feel like the end of the relationship. No. I'm a very clammy sleeper as well.
I don't know. We just both luckily don't need to do that whole cuddling thing to fall asleep. I just don't like it. And then we don't do it like sort of post anything either. No, very pragmatic about it. I think.
I'm a good cuddler, mate. It's all part of it.
Nah, neither of us can look each other in the eye afterwards. So
that's why the spooning comes in. So I turn around, I can't look at you. Wipe that off first.
No, I'm not. No, I don't really like spooning. No, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it really. But yeah. Don't like it. I do like having me back touched though, like strokes. That's very nice, isn't it? Very sensual.
We not get on to your fetishes.
That's not a fetish, is it? It's not sexual, is it?
I don't like.
It doesn't lead into sex. It's just that I like a good stroke. That's all.
Well, you've not seen it done the way I do it yet, Dan. Next time I see you,
I'm all up for that, mate. Anyone, I love it.
On the back.
We'll play this game where you draw on me back and I have to guess what it is, and then it's not gay. It's a game.
Good song then. Well done, everyone.
That is a very good song.
Involved.
Would this be so? You referenced this being in your top 5 B-sides of all time before.
I think it would be. Yeah.
B-sides of all Arctic Monkeys B-sides of all time, obviously.
Yeah.
Although Arctic Monkeys would I mean, there's very few bands that have great B-sides, but Arctic Monkeys fall into that category, don't they? Of a band that produce constantly
Arctic
great.
Monkeys and Oasis, probably best B-sides.
Talk about them, though, do we? Should we do our favourite musical moment in this song?
Bad sound in your ear that make you get up and down.
I got a bit personal there at the end, didn't it? Thanks to old Alex there, talking about spooning.
Oh, he does.
God knows what you're going to hear. I find out when we do AM.
Just to think.
Man, you'll nearly be 40 by then. You'll probably be thinking of packing it all in, I imagine. So
Hold on, mate. Hold on.
Well, just sex-wise, not life.
Either.
Sex is life. I'd say musical moment for me is that solo outro guitar that I referenced being a bit Spanish. I love that bit. But shout out to the bass.
It's also what I was going to choose. Yeah, and also shout out to the bass. Yes, agreed.
It is good. It is good, but I don't think good enough to win the song. I like that guitar a bit more. But yeah. Should we do the favorite lyric?
Too busy with the mind on clever lines.
Mine would be the smiles as she walked in the room have all turned into frowns. Am I too quick to assume that the love is no longer in bloom? So the very opening, I really love that as a sentiment, and it's very relatable. I've felt that many a time.
That would be my second choice after, like, which one I'm picking.
To put that into context, I always say the way a partner greets you at the start of a relationship is very much like when you come home when you have a dog and it's very happy to see you, it runs towards you and gives you a cuddle and all that. And in a bad relationship at the end is very much like coming home to a cat where it kind of looks at you across the room, gives you a dirty look and looks away.
You again.
Yeah, that's the key differences in a good relationship and a bad relationship. But yeah, I think they're good, both good, very good lyrics. Obviously, we knew what yours was. But yeah, great tune, great B-side. I've been waiting to cover that one for a while, actually. But
yeah,
again, a lot of these B-sides, Hopeless Nightmare, I think when we originally started this, because I'll be honest, as we'll discuss in upcoming, really when I messaged you and we set up this pod, or you messaged me and then we got chatting about it, it was with a view to Humbug onwards. I think in my mind was really where I saw the meat of it being, and that was what really excited me. But a lot of the songs that also kind of excited me in that was the Favorite Worst Nightmare B-sides, stuff like this, the Bakery and that. But I think when you actually get to talk about them, there isn't like loads of depth. It's just nice to talk about them and say this is this. But there's nothing like, I mean, from Humbug onwards, we're going to be like pulling apart songs like lyrically like crazy, aren't we? So for the most part. So yeah. Until we get to AM, and then it'll be a bit more straightforward again, and then it'll be fucking mental again for Tranquility Base. But yeah, and then a little bit more straightforward again for the car, and then God knows what will be after that. But
nice knows
for the seminal generational rock album that we're gonna get, perhaps, but not rock like you expect, rock like 70s rock or something. I don't know, but who knows with those boys? Every time, I think I've never guessed what the next Arctic Monkeys album is going to sound like ever. So there's no point in trying, really. It's fool's errand. Fool's errand.
Fool's errand indeed. Not fool's gold, that's Stone Roses. That has been Series 2, Episode 20, Too Much to Ask. We will be back next. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed it, go in the episode description and find all our links. Give us a follow, rate, review, subscribe, all the good stuff that helps with algorithms. We're back next week. Same
good
time,
lad.
Same place.
Algorithms. Yeah, I like him, yeah. That'd be a good name for like a DJ, wouldn't it? DJ Algorithms. Someone's probably already doing that, I'd imagine.
DJ Algorithms.
Yeah.
Either way, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
Lieutenant Aldo Ray. I want my Nazi scalps.
Yep. So we will be back.
Sorry, my favorite Tarantino film.
My favorite Tarantino.
Oh, but sorry. Second favorite Tarantino film. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is past it. Yeah, second favorite.
They're probably tied for me, but
my favorite Tarantino scene though in the bar. the bar scene in Inglourious Basterds, my favourite Tarantino set piece. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, just nice to not have any feet.
Maybe we'll do Tarantino films as a list once we run out of music ones and we get onto other pop culture.
Just said that.
The world is. Did you?
Yep, just said that'd be another good top 5. But
not more than top 5, but yeah, I think
who cares what I've got to say when the kids?
Yeah, it'd be top 9, wouldn't it? Top 9. Well, he cheats. He says his next one's his last one because he only wants 10 films, but he's cheating. He's cheating.
Now we're down to top 5 though, and then we can have some controversial ones cut out.
No. You just, when you're doing a discography, you need to hold the new thing. Would it be let's do the Arctic Monkeys discography list, but cut out Tranquility in the Car because we'll just have the top 5?
No, because we're not doing the Tarantino discography, are we?
We've only got 9.
Yeah, we're just saying what you. Yeah, and out of those 9, what are your favourite 5? That's a quite fucking hell, Jesus.
I've got that already. I know that. But would we be allowed to? Would we be including ones that he's written as well, or would it just be directing?
Well, I don't know. I'll think about it near the time.
Then True Romance would have to be in there, wouldn't it?
We've got all the music top countdowns to get through first before we even think about
Best Tarantino music.
Jesus fucking Christ. Right, what are we back with next week, Dan?
Well, Nick, someone call 999 because Richard Hawley's been robbed. Wait, put the receiver down. It's okay. He's not pressing charges because he's been given a spot singing on a Teddy Picker B-side. Sheffordians, Sheffers, Sheffordians, Steelies rejoiced as local legends team up to bring a Tarantino, didn't just come up with that was already in my notes, so I linked it in, Tarantino-esque montage cover of what was a very obscure song in the first place. Oh, and if that's not enough, we're doing a Tarantino ourselves and throwing you a double bill, our 3rd double bill of the season, and potentially our last ever, as we give you an instrumental from a real fake band. A fake real band. A really good real fake band. Oh, I don't know. Let's just get murky as we delve into the almost desert rock depths of the Bad Woman and the Death Ramps. I wish our last were this dirty.
That's my type of reference. That's my type of Outtakes reference. That big fan of that. Well done, everyone. Right, we'll be back with that next week. Say goodbye to the nice people, Dan.
Goodbye.
The smiles as she walked in the room, vaulting into frowns. Am I too quick to assume the love is no longer in bloom? The tantrums and the tears play a very different tune to what they did before. The head's red roar and the ending doesn't sound the happiest around. When you sobbed before, it felt much more like the product of a squabble. Now there's reason for it to be something more, and there would be. Oh, it's uncertain whether the curtain has shut for good. She said, see if it's still raining. I'm not dressed for it, and if you loved me, well, I interrupted and received a scowl and stare, but still decided to stop her there. Would it be outrageous to say we're either shouting or we're shagging, docked in tempestuous space? At least that's how it felt yesterday. The eyes are getting heavier, and whether you're asleep or awake is a mystery. Would a kiss be too much to ask when you fit me? Like Sunday's frozen pitch fits the thermos flask. It's a pity. It just hit me, we can't go back to the chest touching on the back.
Don't Believe the Hype is hosted and produced weekly by Nick Lee and Dan Holt. Music used in the titles is royalty-free music courtesy of Les FM. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast player of choice to be notified every Wednesday when a new episode is released. And if you want to help us out further, be sure to like and review to help make us more visible to like-minded souls. We will see you next week with more of the same.